Calisthenics is difficult. That's just the facts. When I was 14 years old, I started working out with just my body weight. And one thing that I've noticed, progress is so slow, especially when you make these 5 mistakes that you have probably making if you're a beginner. So today I'm gonna go over these 5 mistakes that I personally made as a calisthenics teen. When I was 14 years old, I made these 5 mistakes that I'm definitely not gonna make again. The reason why is because it's gonna prolong the journey even more if you keep making these mistakes over and over again. So watch the video and do not avoid any type of topics that I talk about. Do not skip anything that I'm gonna go over about because I'm talking real shit. So the first mistake that I made, and that's probably you as well, is wanting to go too fast. Now you've probably been in a position where you have been doing your push-ups, your fundamentals, everybody telling you do the basics, which they are right, but you want to go too fast. You still want to go do your pike push-ups so that you can learn the handstand. You still want to go try to muscle up once in a while. Stop it. Get some help. No. Stop it. Like, you need to first really listen to the guys who are actually telling you to just stick to the fundamentals for about, I'm telling you, a year long. Now, I know it sounds very, very, very long. A lot of people, they would like to go to the planche within the first 5 months or go to the handstand within the first 6 months. Fine, you can actually go do that. But what I want you to do is always focus on the fundamentals first and never want to go too fast. One thing that I'm doing right now in my calisthenics and fitness weightlifting journey, because I'm a hybrid athlete, I'm not focusing on trying to reach my goals as fast as possible. It is impossible to basically go from 0 push-ups to planche push-ups within a month. You don't want to do that. It's not even useful. You're not even going to get there. Make goals that are actually achievable. So what I want you to do is stick to the fundamentals first and do not keep that mindset in your head to where you want to go extremely fast. It's all about the discipline that you have along the way. If you keep staying disciplined from one day to day 100 when it comes to calisthenics and fitness and building your body up, this is what's going to change your life. It's not the times when you basically write down a goal and you're going to do everything to go there as fast as possible. It's not about how fast it is. It's about how effective the road actually is, right? The road that you have picked got to be effective for you to actually get there also quite fast. But don't focus on the speed of it. I want you to start focusing. Am I taking the right steps to eventually actually achieve my goals? Is that what I'm doing? If yes, keep going. So let's go into mistake number 2, which I made and that you are also probably making. And we already basically talked about this in the first mistake, and that is not mastering the basics. Again, if you want to go straight into the planche, wait a minute, bro, and first get the push-up down packed. Start going to your weighted dips and your weighted push-ups and your push-up variations and start mastering those at high reps and high numbers first. Basics are called basics for a reason because that's where it all starts from. A handstand push-up is not a handstand push-up without a push-up. You understand? That may be sounding weird, but a handstand push-up is not a handstand push-up without the push-up part. So you need to get that down as well. So the mastering the basics is basically what I've done for the past 5 years, which I keep preaching people about. It's basically where you focus on push-ups, pull-ups, dips, squats, and the muscle-up. Muscle-up is also considered a basic exercise over and over again to then from there go to more difficult exercises. That is one of the most effective ways to progress from 0 exercise to being able to do just basics to being able to do front lever, back lever, handstand, all that stuff. So that's what I want you to do. Basics first, then the most difficult stuff ever. Mistake number 3, and that is going to be skipping legs. Now, I know, especially calisthenics beginners, not calisthenics advanced people because they don't skip legs, but calisthenics beginners, they only want to focus on the upper body movements because calisthenics is an upper body orientated style of training. When it comes to calisthenics, what do you think about? You're thinking about the weighted dips, the planches, the handstand, muscle ups, weighted pull-ups. Those are all upper body exercises. When you look at the lower body exercises of calisthenics, we have the pistol squat, barbell squat. They are impressive. People do them. They're one of the most effective exercises ever, but you don't associate calisthenics with those exercises. You just think weightlifting. That's why a lot of calisthenics beginners, especially beginners, skip weights for legs and skip leg day entirely because they focus on calisthenics. Listen, when you focus on calisthenics, you still want to train your legs at least 2 times a week. If you're following your basic push-pull legs, you got to have your legs in there. If you follow in an upper-lower, you got to have your legs in there. When you follow an Arnold split, you got to have your legs in there. Full body, legs. You have to include your legs. Your legs is what you're standing on. Not training your legs is first of all going to prolong the journey when it comes to your upper body gains because actually training your legs is going to increase your testosterone in your entire body because those are the biggest muscle groups in your entire body. So training legs will help with everything, not only with leg gains and leg strength, which is also important for certain type of exercises, but also just for overall gains. So don't skip legs, do your leg training, do your basic squats. That's basically all I'm asking you to do. And from there, progress. But skipping legs is for people who do not do the dishes. It's for people who do not clean their room, just like I need to still clean my room. You need to start training legs in order to see progress with all types of shit. That is why I think legs is one of the most important muscle groups to actually stay consistent on. Even though it's not a fun day, still do it, okay? So if tomorrow is leg day, for me today is leg day. If I don't do leg day, I feel like a bitch. The reason why is because I'm now one of those people who skips legs. So don't be that guy. Go to the Bars Only community and share your leg training. I got a couple in there as well, and I'll help you personally too. Then we have mistake number 4, and this is a mistake that I made over and over and over again, and that is not utilizing weights. Now, weight training, I know for a lot of people is going to be boring, especially for calisthenics athletes. It's like doing a bunch of curls, shoulder presses, all this shit. It's going to be boring for most people. What I can tell you from my experience is going from calisthenics to calisthenics plus weights is, first off, it has been elevating my physique from one level to another level. It's actually insane. My physique has gained so many type of new plus points to it, new levels achieved in my physique, new muscles unlocked because I started isolating my muscles with weights. Just like my upper chest, my bicep, my tricep, my lateral shoulders, side delts, even my neck sometimes, and my traps. The reason why is because with calisthenics, certain muscles are also being trained, of course, but just less than if you would actually isolate them. So let's take the rear delts. If you're an endurance athlete like me and you only do push-up, pull-ups, dips, squats, muscle-ups, and you add some rows here and there, your rear delts are going to be lagging. When you look at the rear of your back and you're not going to be seeing that rear delt, that's because of that reason. Same thing with me. I never trained rear delts and it never fucking grew. It grew a little bit from the rows and the pull-ups, but it's never gonna grow to this full potential that is in you because you skip your isolation training. If you have the chance to go to a gym, if you have the money to go to a gym, or you have some weights, isolate some muscles and actually utilize them because it's gonna be so effective and you're gonna be reaching so many more calisthenics goals if you actually start implementing weights. And also, your physique is gonna elevate. Everybody knows this. When you've been doing regular push-ups and you start to notice that your upper chest is like gonna lag a little bit, which I have experienced, and you start doing incline bench press, especially on the Smith machine, do it frequently for 2 days a week for about 6 months, and boom, your lagging area is now filled up. You understand? So that's what you want to do. Utilize them weights. Then we have mistake number 5, and it's the most important mistake, so listen up, and that is not recovering from your training. Now listen, same thing with me. I had the problem of where I was like, okay, I'm training about 4 to 5 times a week now. Those rest days are starting to annoy me, especially when you're new into training. You always want to train, right? You're in school, you're starting to look good, you want to keep on training. It's kind of like an addiction, so you start training 7 days a week. After a little while, you start noticing you have a little tennis elbow, you have a little neck pain, you have a little shoulder issue, and that's because you're not recovering. And you might even notice that you're not even progressively gaining muscle no more. That's also because you're not really recovering from your training sessions. So always make sure, eat enough protein, enough calories, and sleep enough, and take your rest days. It's very important to take normal rest days to where you don't do any type of training. Of course, you can walk outside, maybe do some stretching, maybe even train some calisthenic skills. Just hold it for a few minutes, just doing isometric holds, whatever. But basically, what I want you to do is have a couple of days where you're not doing anything. Just don't train. Don't train. Just let your muscles recover. Cardio, fine. Go ahead, run. Go ahead, box. But I don't want you to put no real resistance on your muscles, okay? For just at least 1 day a week. If you do that, you're going to get back to gaining results. When I started having 3 rest days out of the week instead of 0, and I started working out 5 times a week or 4 or 6 times a week, I started progressing more. My weighted pull-up went up, my weighted dip went up, my muscle mass went up because I'm now recovering from my training sessions. As soon as you start to do this, you're going to see that for yourself as well. If you want personal help with all these 5 mistakes, if you're still making them and you find them hard to improve in your personal fitness journey, I have created the Bars Only Academy. It has just launched in January. Go in there right now and I'll help you personally.